So when you first get to Nashville, 2000, you look around, you say, I fucking hate all this country music. Or it's solid at that point.
Well, it was okay, and then it started getting real poppy.
At what point do you think it got too poppy when Taylor Swift jumped in? Do you think Taylor Swift was in country music?
I don't know that I don't know if she was the reason, because I don't consider her my competition. I was thinking more about, like, again, Florida Georgia Line when they
Little Bay Town, the Band Perry.
Yeah, they started like adding. And listen, I love hip hop. You know, I love Snoop. I love Dr. Dre. I love old school shit. Run DMC. When they started like trying to rap in country,
yeah,
Nelly was on every fucking song. Nothing against Nelly, but it's like it just sounded like shitty pop music. And I'm like, where'd the country go? It's just because you're wearing a cowboy hat don't mean it's country. If you're rapping with Nelly and you're a pussy, it ain't country music.
Yeah.
Nothing against your buddies in Florida Georgia Line.
No. So here's my question to you, because I have issues with country. I don't have issues with country music, but I can see what you're saying from the standpoint of like it becoming poppy. Let's say Florida Georgia Line didn't have the title of country music or Western or anything on them. Would they still be a shitty band to you?
Well, but you're getting to my bigger issue is if they just called themselves pop, I probably wouldn't have an issue.
You wouldn't have an issue at all, right?
I don't know who the shitty pop artists are. I'm not in that world. But if my thing is calling it country and going to the CMAs and pretending that you're have anything to do with Willie and Waylon and all this shit, you know?
Yeah, but when Willie and Waylon and all of them were on, when they were first coming up, people thought they weren't country. These guys are outlaw guys. They don't belong in country music, that type of thing. So one argument, and I'm not saying I disagree with you, but an argument
disagrees with you. Go ahead.
No,
he's making a good point.
Yeah, I think that as we progress through years and years and years, like the pop will come, and as pop gets more and more kind of flamboyant or whatever word you want to use, I think the highwaymen will start coming back, and it'll get more twangy again, and it ebbs and flows.
I hope you're right.
Just like Styles.
Yeah. Like the way, like to me, and I get in retrospect easier to say, but to me, Waylon took country music and pushed it in a cool new direction. And I get what you're saying. That if you were there at the time, it was probably like, this is fucking crazy. But I felt like he took it more like into like a rock and roll attitude, like a fuck the man attitude, where these guys had. But listen to what guys have the
like a rebellious.
The new guys have a please the man attitude, whatever gets me on the charts attitude.
Yeah,
where those guys were like more like, I don't give a fuck if I'm on the radio or not. Don't play it. I don't give a fuck.
There's two issues with that statement. Not issues, but two things that come to mind. One, sorry for interrupting you. One is when you say you say Haggard.
Well, I was talking about Waylon and Willie.
Sorry, when you say Waylon was doing a rock and roll, he was pushing it more towards rock and roll. I'm sure there's other people that are looking in the rock and roll world that are like, what the fuck are these guys doing? And people in country going, what the fuck? These guys are rock and roll bands. They're not, like you're saying, these guys are pop bands. These rockers are probably like, these guys are fucking country. They're not real country. They're not this.
I agree with you, but at the end of the day, I don't really give a fuck about genres. You know, good music's good music. Like, what is Skinner? Are they country? Are they rock? To me, they fucking rock, but they're just a kick-ass Southern band. You know?
Yeah, you'd almost wouldn't call Skinner rock or country.
There's two categories. There's good and bad. Waylon and Willie are good. All your friends are bad.
I think when you put it in that way, I think that makes a whole lot more sense.
But I think what you're saying is true though. It's like you still need the cats like you, the Willie, the Waylons, all that stuff, right?
Gotta have them.
Those rebels are gonna come back around and they'll have a way to do it.
And that's the thing,
because the please the man attitude is gonna get big enough to where you need those motherfuckers to come back in it, right?
Well, that's the thing too. Is I guess I should be thankful because those guys make me look like I invented this shit, which I didn't. You know, like the more that shit gets big, the more like, you know, I don't know, the Tyler Childers and the Sturgills and that shit gets so big because
Sturgill's unbelievable.
Because it goes, we want the real shit. So it probably in its own way helps that shit too. There's plenty of good music out there.
Coulter Wall, he's a young gun.
Coulter's fucking killer.
Is that the boy from Canada?
Is he from Canada?
He is from Canada. Yeah,
he's from Canada, right? He's like Blacktop. That's a song. I love that song.
He's young.
And
Yeah, he's like 18 or he's not even 21 yet, right?
Can I give you another guy's name who's really good?
I would love to.
A couple. I'll give you a couple. Ian No is killer. He's another Kentucky guy.
You
Ian
pull that
No?
up.
Yeah. And
oh, he's only 20. Okay.
and the guy
I thought it was
opened
much longer. It was much
opened up for me the other night.
Oh, he's still
younger
in
than
high
that.
school, man. It's fucking
I listened
crazy.
to him sing though, and he really sounds like he's 45.
Yeah. Ian No.
The guy who opened up for me the other night, Joshua Ray Walker, is really fucking good. Ian's probably my favorite out there right now.
Joshua Ray Walker. Any relation
No
there?
relation, no. Now that's
Oh,
a country guy,
thick.
tell me.
Yeah, he looks country.
Yeah.
He looks like he's country and western.
He looks like Ben Hoffman.
Yeah, for real. R.I.P.
Yeah. Man, you guys missed that guy, huh? I wish.
Well, I hear you back there, Jack.
So in your song
That's what I
Poon,
needed.
when you're shouting out Florida Georgia Line and Sam Hunt and Kelsey Ballerini, all these people, is that kind of like a clout chase, or you're just making good music?
I was just trying to say, fuck 'em.
Yeah,
And
give me some.
Well, no, I wasn't trying. I was trying to think of a word that was like, I wanted to say fuck you without saying fuck you. I just came up with the word poon. I don't know what it means really.
Yeah, poon is pussy.
Because I know what poon means, but in the way I'm using it, I'm not saying Florida Georgia Line, give me your pussy.
Yeah,
I'm saying, give me that poon, and
Give me that pussy.
So the way I interpreted the song was, hey, give me your groupies. Let me get that.
That's not what I meant. I was just thinking about, I want to write a fuck you, and I want what is kind of taboo in country, which is naming names, naming all these people names. To me, it was just a fuck you song. It felt like a fun way to say fuck you without saying, because it's not clever to just say each one of these guys fuck you.
Yeah.
It felt like give me that poon just felt like a new way of saying fuck you. It doesn't make sense, but to me in my head, which is messed up, it made sense.
Yeah.
Fuck you, give me that poon. Like whatever you got, just give it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little beef, like creating some beef, a little beef track.
I don't think anyone got any beef. I will say Jake Owen reached out and said he appreciated the shout out, which means.
Yeah, but Jake Owen sounds like a homie. And I know he's a handsome guy, which really pisses you off, but everything I've heard about him is he's like a cool guy that everyone likes to hang out with.
I don't know him that well, but he's always been nice to me. And he was the only guy in the song who thought it was cool to be in the song, which I appreciated.
Yeah, that is.
I'm not trying to make enemies,
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time,
like when you're all lying in the sand.
Yeah, like if you're like just in the business of entertainment, like
and also if
you create something like that, you're gonna hopefully get some traction by fucking.
But also, it's kind of cool to kind of have fun with it too,
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like what rappers do, right? Like Eminem and all those guys who like.
Yeah, I think I was trying to bring some of that beef into country music, which they don't really have.
Yeah, going back and forth at each other.
Don't you think there's some of these guys too fucking polite?
Yeah, man.
I think that goes for any genre of any music, though. There are people that kind of, but more country than anything else.
Yeah, country, I would say there's a lot more polite guys. Are you a fan of Morgan Wallen?
I dig his music. Of what I've heard, I am not going to lie and say I could sing you every one of his tunes.
But to me, he's somebody that's a little more the mainstream, but he also obviously has some good vocals.
He couldn't be more mainstream, right? Isn't he the hottest shit out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, his album did hit.
I mean, he's pretty big, but I mean, he's someone I listen to, I go, yeah. It's pretty obvious to me. I hear it pretty fast. When I hear it, I don't go, well, this is talentless shit. I hear it, I go, this is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty, you can do it pretty fast. Like, this guy's got it or you don't.
Yeah.